Thank you so much, Jane.
Karin, thank you.
It's fabulous to be here. There's a lot that's been going on, not just in the past few years, but as you'll see, over many, many, many years to our sustainability story. And you know what? We haven't really told our story very well up until now because there's so much misinformation. We use too much water and all this stuff. Well, I'm going to try to clear up some of this for you, especially when it comes to the U.S. cotton industry. So there's three things going on here: sustainability, innovation, and traceability. The U.S. cotton industry is the third largest producer of cotton in the world, and we're not big corporations. We're actually farm families. And this is a really, really important factor because it all has to do with preserving the land that they grow their products on for the next generations. And so our farmers in the last few years have been quite bullish on growing cotton. Our crop this year may be down a little bit, but it's at a much healthier growing level, the volume, than it has been in recent years because demand is up. We're seeing the consumer demand more natural fiber. And 80% of the natural fiber used in the world to make garments and textiles is cotton. What we do is to help people who want to use sustainably grown cotton in their whole supply chain to find each other, to source better, and to do hopefully better business with a higher quality product at retail. China by far is still the #1 consumption country of cotton in the world. The United States Department of Agriculture and our industry are in tandem. So we work very closely with the industry who regulates us. So anybody who grows cotton, if they're not compliant, they can't sell it. So who is going to grow uncompliant cotton that they can't sell? So I want to dive right into sustainability. So we're taking this definition. So the ability to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And every day our farmers go out, they're thinking about the next generation. A lot of these farmers, sons and daughters, work with them to farm, and then their children, and they stay on the land. So the consumers are actually thinking, well, wait a minute. Jane said absolutely. They're more thoughtful shoppers. They're thinking, well, what's really in this stuff? And they're looking at the labels, and they're saying, oh, okay, recycled polyester, what does that mean? Where has it been? The distribution of microplastics, I think you're aware of these Gulf streams and the currents, and it's everywhere, right? So it's in the news, it's in the consciousness, but again, like Jane was saying, it's hard. What do we do about this? I think we all want to be responsible, but actually, how do we tackle this? Just to show you some ugly facts, laundering, the microfibers are getting in the water. I'm sure you've heard about that. And we did a biodegradable study, and this is exactly what was being talked about before, and the laundry experiments, washing cycle, and then what fibers were getting out. So obviously you see the polyester and is a lot of fiber that is escaping from the garment when it's being washed. That is not recyclable, that it is not biodegradable. And then we tested it in different kinds of waters, so we're trying to be scientific about this because we really do want to know what happens in different environments. So this is salt water, lake water, and some sludge. And then the biodegradability results. So cotton on the top, and then rayon going, and then you get to polyester. Oops. It's there forever. So, this is real, so we have to deal with it. So after 250 days, most of the cotton was biodegraded, and at the end of the day, it just kind of disintegrates and disappears. Polyester, 4%. Okay, so I think you get the idea. Exactly what Jane and said, what do we need to do? What can we do? How can we do this? And be sustainable business-wise, right, as well. And we have a new initiative called the U.S. Trust Protocol for Sustainability. We've been doing sustainable agriculture for years and years, and we've been auditing by a third party, so we know where we stand. But these are our objectives. We want to be the world leader for sustainable cotton production. And we want to be a supplier of choice for those who are committed to only buying cotton that is produced with sustainable and responsible environmental safety and labor practices in the United States. It's pretty transparent, our whole industry. So, as I mentioned, we make the argument that we are the most sustainable cotton growing country in the world because it's really our farmers who make it that way because it's in their best interest to protect their land. And the USDA would be all over us. You know, they would shut anybody down who is not compliant with the regulations. It's highly, highly regulated. And we're the only country now in the U.S. that has set quantifiable goals for sustainability as of August 2017. In the last 35 years, by field to market, and I'm sure some of you also use this program, it's United States field to market, you can look it up, has come in and really audited our whole industry. Now, what impresses me the most is this number. In the last 35 years, we have been able to reduce water consumption by 82%. You know, that's pretty impressive. We have new goals for 2025. So it's a farm level program introducing standards, quantitative measurements, verification steps. So it's very, very strict. And it's going to be implemented starting next year. So we're having a pilot program this year. So there's standards, measurements, verifications, and it's totally transparent because all the information is going to be passed to the supply chain. Just to show you that we have a due diligence process to go through the standards of verification. Okay, and then verification by a second party and verification by a third party. I want to quickly talk about traceability because I'm sure some of you use Supima. We have partnered with a number of sustainable innovation technology companies to give performance to cotton-rich products. So it's really interesting. You get performance that you would get with polyesters, but you're using cotton, mostly cotton in your products. So U.S. cotton, we're doing a pilot for the entire production of U.S. cotton. So in the next few years, you will know if it's U.S. cotton. So talk about traceability from dirt to shirt. This is the technology that can get you there. You can audit your whole supply chain, from the farm, ginning, spinning, weaving, dyeing, manufacturing to retail, right? To the consumer. We are being asked now, a lot of large brands and retailers are coming to us and saying, how can you help us with our supply chain? We want to use U.S. cotton, high quality, sustainable, and now we want to trace it. Well, we can do that. We have done some projects with some large brands and retailers, so that when they go to market with our Cotton USA brand on it, they can be very sure that it really is U.S. cotton, and their customer can be sure as well. So this is a huge advantage. And then we can tell the backstory of how it's grown. So I guess in summary, we are genuinely committed to making a difference in sustainable agriculture for the future and for driving change and continuous improvement. And we would love to work with you. I thank you very, very much.